What if I told you the evil in this movie did not begin in a house, did not begin with a child, and did not begin in America? What if I told you it had been waiting for thousands of years, and the moment it was disturbed, it chose its victim carefully? Because this story does not start with screaming. It starts with silence. In the burning deserts of northern Iraq, an elderly priest named Father Marin is working as an archaeologist. This place feels ancient, older than fear itself. The wind howls across ruins that have seen civilizations rise and collapse. And from the very first moment, the movie makes one thing clear. This land remembers things humanity has forgotten. As Marin digs, small signs begin to appear. Strange behavior from animals, uneasy glances from locals. The air itself feels heavy, as if something invisible is watching. Then it happens. A small artifact is uncovered, an ancient demonic statue. It doesn't jump at you. It doesn't scream. It simply exists. And yet the moment Marin sees it, his expression changes. His body reacts before his mind does. This is not curiosity. This is recognition. As the sun sets, Marin stands face to face with a massive statue of the same demon. The sky turns blood orange behind it. Two figures stare at each other, one ancient, one human, and in that moment the movie silently tells you something terrifying. This is not a battle that will happen today. This is a battle that has already been decided. Marin leaves Iraq shaken and weakened, but the evil does not follow him. Instead, it travels. The story cuts to Washington, D.C., a peaceful neighborhood, tree-lined streets, a warm home, a mother and her daughter living a normal, happy life. And this is where the trap is set. Because the scariest evil does not attack chaos. It attacks comfort. Inside this house lives Regan, a young girl full of laughter, innocence, and curiosity. Nothing about her feels special, and that's exactly why she was chosen. At first, the signs are harmless. Noises in the attic, a cold draft in one bedroom, an imaginary friend with a strange name. But here's the truth the movie wants you to understand. Evil never announces itself. It introduces itself slowly. And the next place we focus on, one single bedroom, will become one of the most terrifying locations in film history. Backhand index pointing right, because once that room changes, nothing in this story can ever go back to normal. There are many haunted houses in horror history, but in this story, only one room matters. Regan's bedroom. At first it feels ordinary, toys, posters, a child's safe space, but slowly, almost invisibly, something begins to change. Regan starts waking up in the middle of the night terrified. The temperature in her room drops without explanation. Strange sounds echo from the walls. And then her behavior changes. Mood swings turn into violent outbursts. Her voice no longer sounds like her own. Her eyes carry something that does not belong to a child. Her mother, Chris, does everything right. She calls doctors, specialists, psychiatrists. Machines surround Regan, tests are run, answers are demanded. But science finds nothing, and that's what makes this part so disturbing. Because the more advanced the equipment becomes, the more helpless everyone feels. Regan's room becomes colder. The bed begins to shake. Objects move without being touched. This is no longer fear, it's entrapment. The bedroom is no longer a safe place. It is a cage. At the same time, the story introduces Father Damien Carras, a priest struggling with his faith. His scenes are quiet, grounded, emotional. He questions God, he questions himself. And without realizing it, he becomes spiritually vulnerable. That vulnerability matters, because evil does not just want Regan. It wants belief itself. When Chris finally asks about possession, even the church hesitates. They require proof, logic, absolute certainty. But when they see Regan's room, the shaking bed, the freezing air, there is no more denial. This room is not haunted. It is occupied. And when the church makes the call to bring in Father Marin, the same man from Iraq, the movie connects its first and second act in a terrifying way. This was never random. This room was chosen. Backhand index pointing right, and once the exorcism begins, what happens inside those walls will test the limits of faith, sanity, and survival. When Father Marin enters the house, there is no dramatic greeting. No speeches, no fear in his voice. Only preparation. Because he has faced this presence before. The bedroom door closes. The air turns icy. The exorcism begins not with shouting but with prayer. Calm, controlled, focused. And the response is immediate. The room reacts violently. The demon reveals itself through manipulation, mockery, and psychological attacks. It does not rush, it studies, it waits for weakness. This is where the movie becomes unbearable in tension. The demon targets Carras, his guilt, his doubts, his pain. It wants him broken. Because a priest without faith is more useful than a possessed child. Marin continues, hour after hour, refusing to react emotionally. He knows reacting is losing, until his body fails him. Marin collapses, And suddenly, the room goes quiet. This silence is more terrifying than the chaos. Because now Karas is alone. And in that moment, he realizes something horrifying. The demon was never trying to escape. It was trying to win. Backhand index pointing right what Karas does next will change the outcome of everything. Karas makes a decision no one expects. He challenges the entity directly. He demands it leave the child and take him instead. And it does. For a brief moment, Regan is free. But Karas is not. Fighting with the last of his strength, he does the unthinkable. He throws himself from the bedroom window, down the cold stone steps outside the house. This final location, the Georgetown steps, is silent, empty, real. No music, no spectacle, just consequence. Karas is found barely alive. A final prayer is spoken, and then peace. The house returns to normal. The room warms. Regan remembers nothing, but the audience understands the truth. Evil was real, faith mattered, and someone paid the price. This is why the Exorcist does not end with relief. It ends with respect, because some victories are not loud. They are survived.